I'm Bhavik Bakshi. I'm a professor with joint appointments in the School for Engineering of Matter, Transport and Energy, more specifically the Chemical Engineering program, also in the School of Sustainability and the School of Complex Adaptive Systems. My research has been directed towards figuring out how engineering products and processes can be developed in a manner that they end up making positive contributions to human well-being without compromising ecological well-being and economic profitability. So broadly, I work in the area of what is called sustainable engineering. So probably the biggest grand challenge is something that I just alluded to in telling you who I am and what I do, which is how does one do engineering, or how does one develop technologies in a manner that they are economically profitable, socially desirable, ecologically viable for present generations as well as future generations. So, traditionally or historically, the technologies that we have developed, we have tended to not do very well on these fronts. Companies tend to make profit, and there are people who do benefit from a lot of the energy and medical and other technologies that have been developed. But there are also unintended side effects that when the technology scales up tends to overwhelm our global system. Climate change is one of the many examples of that, but some of the others include depletion of the ozone layer, the formation of harmful algal blooms, and so on. So in my group, what we are trying to do is to develop systematic methods, models and tools, software tools, that can guide industry in addressing these challenges. More specifically, the kinds of things that we are working on right now, major area of research is how does one guide the transition of the chemicals and materials industry to a net zero future. By net zero, I don't just mean net zero emissions of greenhouse gases. Of course, that is needed, but we are also focusing on plastics, net zero, ideally use of resources, and we need to find solutions that are nature positive. In other words, they protect and restore ecosystems, they reverse biodiversity loss, and are also people positive, which means that these solutions should address issues such as environmental inequities and unintended harm on society. So we use a lot of techniques that include carbon footprint analysis, life cycle analysis, design of circular economy systems, and we work on design of novel products, modification of existing products, but also novel processes and global supply networks. So sustainability plays a central role in my group's research. My training, my PhD work and so on wasn't really in the sustainability area. About 25 years ago, I decided to shift the direction of my research at the intersection of technology and the environment, what is now being called sustainable engineering. At that time, such a term did not exist. The whole motivation behind moving into this direction at that time was that these unintended negative impacts of engineering activities and products, it seemed to me they have been primarily because engineers ignore the contribution from ecological systems, from ecosystem goods and services that are essential for supporting human and industrial activities. So I moved my research in the direction of what is now being called sustainable engineering, as I said, 25 years ago. So sustainability since then has played an absolutely central role in all of the work that I have done, and I expect to continue doing. Our work is systems oriented, so we use principles of systems engineering, a lot of mathematical modeling, optimization methods, and other analysis techniques, including statistical approaches and so on. But the primary driver of all the work we do is to enable engineers to make real contributions towards sustainable development. Students should aim towards doing something for the rest of their lives that is going to be fulfilling and is going to address some of the most important challenges that we face in the world. the fact that you are here and are in this program means that you have the ability and the desire to do the type of work and that you are doing and getting the education and the degrees that you're planning to get. So what comes to my mind is this quote from, I think, the first Spider-Man, which is when you with great power comes great responsibility. And you have the power increasingly and will have even more power after you finish your studies and so on. So I think one of the biggest challenges facing humanity today is that of sustainable development. And because you have the power, I would say that you even have the responsibility to focus on doing the best you can to make sure that human beings on this planet, along with all the associated ecological, economic, and societal systems that we all contribute to and rely on, are sustainable, not just for us and your generation, but also the future generation. So I think it's really important that all of us, all of you, identify goals, for your future careers and life that are associated with sustainability. Because if we don't work in that direction, and we end up with a planet that is not exactly livable or enjoyable in the way that the previous generations have enjoyed, I don't think it would really be worthwhile.